Now, as I get older, I find myself sort of complaining about different kinds of pain around my body. So if you are into that kind of like small talk, here are three very useful words you can use to talk about pain on different parts of the body. The first word is the most common word we use, and that is 아프다. 아프다. And it generally means to hurt. And its polite form in present tense is 아파요. 아파요. Now, 아프다 is the most general word we use to talk about pain, and we can use it to talk about many different kinds of pain. So if you're clumsy like me and you bump into things around the house, then maybe like you bump your leg onto the dining table and your legs hurt, then you can say 다리가 아파요. 다리가 아파요. If you have a cold and your throat hurts, then you can say 목이 아파요. 목이 아파요. Another useful word is 쑤시다. 쑤시다. And 쑤시다 generally translates to mean to ache. But it refers to a kind of pain where it feels like you're being poked by a needle. And we generally use it to talk about like muscle pain, joint pains. But we can also use 쑤시다 to talk about that kind of like headache where your head feels like it's being poked by a needle. And if you have that kind of headache, then you can say 머리가 쑤셔요. 머리가 쑤셔요. And 쑤시다, I think, is more commonly used by older people. So when like some older people, they just sort of have that back ache where it feels like they're being poked. They just have that muscle ache. Then they might say 허리가 쑤셔요. 허리가 쑤셔요. And you might also have that kind of like leg ache where it feels like it's being like sort of like a pins and needle leg ache. Maybe you've done like a hard day's work the day before, some like physical labor. Then you can say 다리가 쑤셔요. 다리가 쑤셔요. So that's how you can use the verb 쑤시다. Finally, we have this word 뻐근하다. 뻐근하다. And we use 뻐근하다 to talk about like muscle being stiff where it's really hard to make movement. So if you know, some days when you kind of like sleep in an awkward position and you wake up and you have that kind of like really bad neck pain and you find it, and then you're trying to move and you go, oh, 목이 뻐근해요. 목이 뻐근해요. And I had this pain where I couldn't move my shoulders for like 6 months. It was crazy. Then you might say 어깨가 뻐근해요. 어깨가 뻐근해요. My shoulder is stiff. 어깨가 뻐근해요. So 뻐근하다, the polite form is 뻐근해요, can be useful if you want to talk about sort of like muscle stiffness.